All right, so I'm a little different today. We're here and talk a little bit of boxing. In the evening I'm usually talking WMMA, but I gotta talk more boxing now. All right, back into my boxing group here, man. Here we got. We also just started jumping on here in the daytime on my way home, and I'll talk boxing. Kind of give my thoughts on some of these upcoming fights. Let me see. Get started here in a minute. Yeah, definitely gotta bring some back some boxing talk, man. That's my number one. You know, here for 20, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I want to just get on here and talk about this fight, Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. I haven't really had a chance to discuss it too much. But it's been so busy, man. Can't believe it's only a few weeks away now. Only what 3 weeks away from the fight. Definitely a fight. Wasn't like a big fight, like I said. I was asking for, unless Manny has his belt. I know in his thumbnail he has his belt, but I don't think it is going to be for that WBA belt. It would make more sense if this was for full-on unification, but it's looking like your Dennis Ugas still has that belt. So this is just more of a big legacy fight for Errol Spence and a history-making fight for Manny Pacquiao as well. You know, man, like one of the things I want to talk about, man, is just the fact that look, I know we're only 3 weeks away, and everything like it's still a go. We see everything, the interviews. They already been doing the fight camp press con. We've been doing the fight camp episodes on the Fox. But man, like I know the one thing I hear a lot of people talking about though is uh, Manny Pacquiao, his choice of training. As far as being around so many people. That's kind of that's not really a good look. You know what I mean? Like especially with what we got going on with this pandemic. It's not gone yet, man. It's still not gone. It's still here, and from what it looks like, it's still on the rise. So that is something I just kind of want to talk about. That was the one thing I noticed when this fight was announced, and Manny Pacquiao landed here, and as soon as he got off the plane, got here, um, went right into training, got into running, running with the whole crew. He had the cameraman out there recording. There's a lot of people surrounding him, and with that many people around, it makes you still say, "Oh man, this, still not safe." Still not safe to have that many people around you. That's why I know I'm with a lot of people in that kind of, worried about the training conditions of Manny Pacquiao. It just seems like they're right back to how everything was like back in 2018 and 2019. Training full with the full house and just kind of going about it like there's no trace of a virus or whatsoever. So I was thinking about that, man. I was like, oh man, like if they continue to train like that, I don't want to hear that last minute thing like, oh, somebody came up positive or something. Because shoot, it's been happening a lot in MMA. It's happening a lot with the UFC. You're having so many pullouts. Whether it be, I know we always have injuries, but we also have a lot of people pulling out because of they still test positive. Hell, even in boxing, well, I don't know about Tyson Fury and Tiafimo how legit theirs was. I mean, like I'm not trying to, if it is legit, I wouldn't want to, put anything bad on their name. But the way Tyson Fury, he came up positive all of a sudden, just kind of makes you wonder, especially when he's been out and about, still, doing stuff, still traveling. But as far as it's been how it's been going in MMA. Amanda Nunes, her fight, her fight coming up this Saturday is is postponed. It's getting pushed back because she tested positive. Her hands were off her baby. So I'm just hoping that Manny Pacquiao, I hope they're not gonna have some type of situation like that where somebody in his camp tests positive. I hope they're keeping up with the tests there because this is one fight I think a lot of people are looking forward to. Like I said, it's not like Spence Crawford, but it's definitely a fight. I'm definitely gonna watch because it's still two of the best welterweights out there, right? But yeah, just seeing these videos of Manny running, and still being around a lot of people. Yeah, granted he has a mask on, and some of the people have the mask, but there's still a lot of people around. Even some of these celebrities around. Like I was feeling like they should still have like a closed camp for him. Like put him in some type of bubble just to make sure everything goes well because that's a lot of money lost though. That'd be a lot of money lost if they have to push this fight back, right? If Manny Pacquiao was to test positive, and they got to push this fight back or even cancel it. That's gonna be a lot of money lost. So I know there was a lot of money lost with the Fury Wilder 3 setup. There's a lot of money lost in tickets and everything with that. So Manny Pacquiao, if he's to come up positive or anything, like there's gonna be a lot of boxing fans pissed off. So I know we get pissed off in the MMA world as well whenever a fight gets canceled. But we're like, okay, we understand. They do take proper precautions as far as how things are set up at the UFC for the most part. I mean, they have crowds now too, so they're kind of setting themselves up for defeat as well. But yeah, aside from that though, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Just like every time there's a new fight announced, I'm just hoping that we can get to the fight date and everybody can get in the ring near 100%. Make sure everybody's healthy. you know, but as far as style wise, how this fight plays out, it's I think it's a 50-50 fight though. Like I will break this thing down in a couple weeks as we get closer to it. I do like the style matchup, but it all depends on how Manny Pacquiao shows up. Everybody says that he's going to use the speed. He's gonna he's just gonna bombard and just overwhelm Errol Spence with punches. Hell, Freddie Roach even said that this fight was going to be like the Antonio Margarito fight. And if they got that type of mind state, I don't know if they're trying to play mind games with the Spence camp or they're really that oblivious to the IQ of Errol Spence. Because if they think it's gonna be like Margarito fight, then come on, come on. They got to be playing. They got to be playing mind games because the IQ of Margarito is nowhere near the IQ of Errol Spence. Let's be real. Errol Spence's IQ, he's not going to be standing in front of him. He's not just going to be walking in the shots. He's just not going to be looking for big shots he's just not be taking big shots to try to get one or two hits, knowing that Manny Pacquiao is going to be gone after he lands 3 or 4 hits. So somebody like Errol Spence, he's going to be using timing. He's going to be using his jab, and he will be using a high guard. I mean, I would like to see him use his head movement a little bit more in this fight, but somebody like Errol to deflect a lot of the fast combinations, Errol Spence will be using a high guard to block a lot of the shots, or at least blocking two, so he'll know when to get away from that 3 and 4. So I mean, and for them to think this fight will be like Margarito, come on, like if they're studying film, they should know that a guy like Errol Spence, if they've seen all his fights, in no way does he fight like Margarito. You know, Margarito doesn't box like that. Margarito is a puncher. It's just gonna try to look for that big punch. Like I said, he'll take everything you have, get out box, and just wait for you to gas out. Then he'll come on strong and try to knock you out. But Errol Spence, he's a more systematic guy. You know, he's more of a methodical guy. He can box. You know, a lot of people don't give him enough credit for his boxing because he was knocking so many people out early on. But he boxed Mikey Garcia. But not a lot of people want to give Errol Spence credit for the Mikey fight. You know, because he was small, they wanted to see him knock him out. He chose to box for 12 rounds. They had to, they had to question that. But that was a proof of boxing. And then the Danny Garcia fight, nullifying the puncher. Coming off a car accident, nullifying the puncher in his first fight back. And Danny Garcia went on record to say that Errol Spence was probably one of the strongest welterweights he's faced. One of the strongest welterweights he's faced, and has one of the best jabs out of, the guys like Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. He said he was the strongest guy. So I hope they're not underestimating Errol for real though. Like I hope they're not. I hope they really don't mean that. Like it's going to be a Margarito fight, because it's not. And remember what Manny did that many years ago, what, almost a decade, right? Was that 2009? The Margarito fight, 2009, 2010, something like that. What he did against Margarito, he doesn't have that type of. I don't think he has that type of speed and that type of fire anymore. And that was before the Marquez fight. But even after that Marquez knockout, Manny became more of a smarter combination puncher. He wasn't committed to going in there and trying to land as hard. He's more so a little bit more cautious. He's being a little bit more cautious. So I don't think that Manny Pacquiao is going to take that same approach at all, because he doesn't have them type of legs anymore. But even a 70 to 80% Manny of what he used to be will definitely be hell of a different look for Errol Spence. It'll definitely be a different look for Errol Spence, and could win the first half of the fight or so. Win the first 5 rounds, unless Errol really makes those right adjustments early on in the fight and uses his timing. Because I know one of the ways I could see this fight going, I brought it up before. If Errol Spence is on his game and he wants to prove he is the bigger and stronger guy, which he is. I could see this fight going like Winky Wright versus Shane Mosley. And in that fight, of course, Winky Wright in this fight would be Errol Spence, and Shane Mosley would be Manny Pacquiao. So similar to that fight, a guy like Winky Wright knew he was the bigger guy, so he could just kind of walk down the fast fighter and just continuously hit him with the jab, back him up with the jab, and then add in those straight left hands and just really hit him with thudding punches and just stun Shane Mosley at times. Winky Wright was just getting stunned with those hard punches. Like, Winky Wright's not a knockout puncher, but, he was just hitting him with some stunning punches and really made him not want to come inside and made him respect that offense. So Errol could take that same approach. If he's able to walk Manny down and just constantly come out of the guard and hit him with the jab, just keep hitting him with the jab and straight left hands, I think that he could make it definitely a rough night and just kind of frustrate Manny Pacquiao with that type of approach. And it's all going to come down to timing with Errol Spence. He's not going to match Manny Pacquiao's speed for speed in this fight. This can't be a fight where you try to flurry or try to catch him in the middle of a combination. No, you just got to time him as he's coming in. Straight when he comes straight in, right before he lets that first punch go, you got to know, and you got to know that click, and you got to catch it. So if Errol can control this fight with a jab and his strength and move Pacquiao around and even like hold him a little bit, like add in some of what Jeff Horn was able to do. I still don't think Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, but Jeff Horn was able to put the weight on Manny at times in some of the rounds, So Errol can take a key out of that book. Use the size take away the legs and just use timing to take away the speed. It could be like Tarver versus Jones. Tarver's not the fastest fighter, but he had good timing. He figured Roy out, and he was able to cut Roy off, put Roy into the ropes, and let flurries go and try to take rounds. So Errol could have that same success. Walk Manny down, take away the speed, and hit him with combinations on the ropes. You know, Manny's I could definitely see Manny being in trouble in the first half of the fight. The first 4 or 5 rounds. That's where you kind of got to give it to Manny. Manny is gonna put the speed to work, but this might be like of course it's gonna be like the Manny in the Keith Thurman fight more so than the Margarito fight. So Spence looking back at the Keith Thurman fight, just watch how he starts to slow down. Watch how he starts to slow down, and he's able to be hit with big shots. Right up the middle. Keith Thurman was hitting Manny with some good shots. I still think that Manny was able to edge it out. With heart and his speed. But if somebody like Errol is as durable as I think he is, and he's able to take Manny's best combinations and not let the flurries, get to him, he could end his combinations. He could land his combinations in with some big shots first. He could land some big shots first, man. So yeah, yeah, it's an interesting matchup though. It's definitely gonna be an interesting matchup. You definitely it's definitely hard to pick against experience. I've always said that even with like some of the MMA fights, it's hard to pick against experience, especially when it's Manny Pacquiao, who's faced so many different styles, and just about everybody he fights is bigger than him. So he knows how to fight big men. He does have a book on how to overwhelm and beat these bigger fighters. So it's going to be interesting. But Errol Spence, I do feel like this is his time now. I don't think he's not gonna make this easy fight. So it's definitely gonna be a hard fight. And I think it's gonna come down to speed, the speed of Manny in the legs. But for Errol's side, it's going to come down to him being able to use his youth and his strength. Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be interesting, man. Real quick though, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this Keith Thurman and Tank Davis fight. Like I've been hearing talks of that now. Like that's been circulating in the boxing world out here, and for me, I'm just like, wow, where did this come from? I know this. I know this is the PBC side, and I know that it's a fight that could be made just because they're on that side, but just because they're on this side and they're in house, does that mean the fight needs to be made? Does that really mean it needs to be made just because they're on the same side? I mean, what's the significance behind Tank Davis and the Keith Thurman fight for real? I know they might see it as a one-off, but to me, it doesn't really do much for Tank's legacy. I mean, it probably would more so for him than Keith Thurman fighting Tank or beating Tank. Right? Because if Keith Thurman beats Tank, everybody's just gonna say, "Well, he beat a small guy," right? But for Tank, yeah, he could come into the division and um beat a welterweight. Maybe they were just seeing what Manny Pacquiao was able to do. They saw what Manny Pacquiao was able to do, and they think Tank Davis could land some big power punches on Tank Davis. But that's on Keith Thurman, but it's just a different style, man. Really, it's just a different style, and I just don't like the matchup, man. I'm just like, when you got so many other fights out there, like Teofimo Lopez and Marcus Bell. What's up, man? Um, when you got so many guys out there like Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia that you can continue to hound and corner, you know, Vasil Lomachenko, all these guys out there like that, it's like, why try to move all the way up to 147 for a fight? Why not try to get these fights? Even Josh Taylor at 140, like why are you even talking about Tank? I mean, why are we even talking about Tank versus Thurman? Just like I said, just because he's on the Al Heyman side? No, man. Yeah, Marcus, I don't know about that. Thurman versus Davis. No, it don't sound good to me, man. It really don't sound good to me. It just don't make any sense, man, because there's so many guys at 130 and 140 135. Yeah, 130, 135, and 140 for Tank Davis. It's Gary Russell. Again, there's Tiafimo, Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a free agent now, so Devin Haney's a fight that could be made. But Keith Thurman, he's in the welterweight mix. Like, I'd rather see Ugas and Keith Thurman, or wait for Keith Thurman get the winner of Pacquiao and Spence. I'd rather see that. But I really don't want to see this fight, man. I hope they don't make this fight. Keith Thurman said I don't even think he really knew about it, but it was just his name was kind of thrown out there. I didn't really hear him say yes, but I hope he don't say yeah to that fight. It don't make any sense. But I watch it if it came on. I'd be interested to see what happened. But if it was pay-per-view, I'd be like, damn, I don't know if I'm paying for that. Really. But yeah, that's really my thoughts on that situation. And just going back to Errol Spence and some of that what was it, that sparring footage that got leaked a little while back, about 4 or 5 days ago, like a week ago. My thoughts on that Errol Spence sparring. I don't know why people take so much of that and just run with it. Even people like, even some of these bigger boxing media channels have been covering boxing for years. Like, they know not to run with this thing, man, and try to put it out there like Errol was being exposed. They know there's a difference between sparring and a boxing match and sparring. They know that now. Like, people, media, they do anything to hype up numbers or hype up views. I mean, come on, man. Like, let's get past that though. Like, if Errol was getting touched up in sparring, that's sparring. If Errol was getting touched up, that's because he had a guy come in that was going to give him work and not going to respect him. That's what you want. You don't want a yes man. Like, if Errol was beating a guy up in sparring, what would y'all say? Oh, he's sparring a bum. He won't be able to do that to Manny Pacquiao, right? But now he's in there getting touched up a little bit. He's actually getting work from a guy that's letting his hands go. Everybody want to say, "Uh-oh, I see something." You don't see nothing, man. All you see is just Errol getting in work. You can't go off of sparring, man. You really can't. That's why I've been seeing like some other people posting it up, and they're like already talking. Oh, Errol's too slow. Oh, he's too slow. He's gonna get hit by Manny. He's gonna get touched up. But you don't even know. Like, you don't even know what Errol was working on at the time. Like, Errol could have been working on just fighting toe to toe, testing himself, seeing how he can react to combinations coming at him that fast. He's trying to like acclimate himself to the combinations, the flurries. Like, when Manny hits him with the flurry like that, and he's never experienced that before, he's gonna feel like a deer in the headlight, deer in the headlight. So he's getting that experience now, like, oh, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. If this is how Manny's gonna hit me, okay, I know. Now I know how to break through that, and I know how it feels, and it's not gonna frustrate me. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But like, media at this time, when they post it, just explain that to people. Don't try to run with it and say, "Oh man, Errol, he's getting touched up, and this is what's going to happen in a fight." Like, that's why I say they know it now, but they rather just run with it, base it off of views to try to build up more drama. But I mean, like, get the drama, man. Just tell the truth on it, man. Like, the fight will bring the drama. These boxing media channels out here, they ain't supposed to be bringing that he said, she said crap. Just talk the real, man. You know what I mean? Just talk the real. That's why I am. Like, as soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh man, come on! I'm gonna get on here and talk about it real quick and give you my thoughts." And I can't gauge anything off of that sparring. That wasn't even a whole round. Yeah, Marcus, sparring is basically what it is. It's sparring. You can't go off of that. You can't go off of sparring. You know what I mean? So you can't just say, okay, a person based off what we saw of 30 seconds is going to get touched up by Manny in a fight. If that was the case, Floyd would be losing fights, because even Floyd gets hurt in sparring. Floyd gets bloody noses in sparring. Errol touched up Floyd a while back in sparring. You know what I mean? So Zab Judah touched him up in sparring. Hell, he touched him up in a fight, but Floyd will take different approaches. So what he experiences in sparring and outside the ring, outside the actual fight, he's prepared for it in the fight. You go hard 120%, 150% in training. So when you fight, you don't even have to go to that. You don't have to go to that realm, you know? Like Valentina, right, Marcus? That's an example, right, Marcus? Valentina, right? Valentina trains harder than anybody else. She's like beating some guys up in sparring. She's putting the leg kicks, body kicks on some of her male sparring partners. And she's never had to really break a sweat that much in a fight, right? Because she goes harder in training, and then you won't have to go that hard in the actual fight. But if you have to, you're prepared for it. Am I right or am I wrong on that? Because Valentina, you see her train hard. See her train hard all day long. I watch, sometimes I be sitting there watching, her training camps. When she go through training camp, she is training. But when she's actually fighting, I'd be like, okay, that's why the fight was easy for her, because she kicked ass in sparring, and she took beatings in sparring, you know. So same with Manny, same with Floyd. Take beating in sparring, get lit up in sparring. And then there was some footage of Canelo. Everybody said Canelo got rocked. Canelo got touched up in sparring. Okay. He probably got touched up hella times. He probably got touched up hundreds of rounds in sparring. Hundreds of rounds. But has he lost a fight? No. He hasn't. He hasn't, man. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that, man. That's why I got to talk more boxing again, same way I do MMA, man, because I ain't gonna be BSing y'all, man. I ain't gonna try to make no drama off of no sparring and say, somebody about to get beat down because they got touched in sparring. You ain't gonna hear me talk about it in boxing. That's why I gotta bring the real back to boxing, man. Marcus, I gotta start talking boxing more again, man. Because I'm being real with the Thurman and Davis fight. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Why I want to see a 130 pounder fight a welterweight? Really? Do I really want to see that? No, I don't. But yeah, man. Like I said, maybe I'll start getting on here more after I get off work and just talk boxing in the morning to go on my not my rants, but just talk this real stuff. I get tired of hearing the clickbait drama in boxing too as well. So yeah, I gotta start talking more and filling y'all in on what sparring is and what an actual fight is. Two different things, man. But yeah, let me get up out of here, man. I just wanted to do about 20 or 30 on here and talk this boxing. Let's see. We'll be on here Wednesday, Marcus, 7 p.m. talking WMMA though. Talking about this flyweight stuff. Oh yeah, Marcus, what do you think, Marcus? Who has better stand up, Roxanne or Montana? I was going in last night with BJ and Stam. I wasn't going in, but BJ and Stamina felt Montana stand up is better than Roxanne. What do you think, man? Whose stand up is better? I think Roxanne's stand up is better than Montana. I mean, am I crazy? I mean, her stand up is effective, man. Like Roxanne gets takedowns off of her stand up and she wins rounds off of her stand up. Like Montana can land some good punches, but she doesn't like dominate, man. She doesn't win rounds off of that. What do you think, man? Man, she doesn't win rounds off. Turn that echo off. I mean, I pretty much broke it down to him, and nobody argued with me about it last night. So I was like, okay. I'm like, all right. I mean, Marcus said to me, he said to me, Roxanne, and I can't even stand her stand up. Right, right. I don't like like her stand up ain't great. Like I'm not like a big fan of it either, but it's like it's effective, man. Like the way she just be like she be tap dancing around you, like she'll tap dance around you. She'll start blinking, and then boom, she hits you with the right hand. Like Vivian Arujo got hit with a big right hand, lost the third round to Roxanne, but Montana couldn't even win a round off of Vivian Arujo, if I remember correctly. It was 30-27. So yeah, Roxanne touched up Andrea Lee. You know, she touched her up a little bit. So I think her stand up is better, man. I mean, Montana could be better. She's younger. She has the I think she has the ability to grow because she's younger. But right now, I think, yeah, Montana has ways to go with her stand up. Right, right. I think so too. Her jab and everything is just a little bit too slow for me, and it's she's tentative, man. They looked at me like I was crazy when I said she don't commit. Hang on one second. Hang on here. Oh man, hold on. Yeah, that's why I had to jump on yesterday, man. I was like, hold on, like, dang, Stamina said Montana stand up is better than Roxanne. I was like, who's got more wins off their stand up? Who's got more wins? Who's got more takedowns off their stand up? All right. Marcus says for y'all beat it still right talking about so zero credibility. Oh man, that's what I do. But man, I was like, dang, Stamina jumped on the bandwagon there. I was like, how is I was just trying to figure it out because I was like, when she connects, she hits hard. Okay, she got power, but it's not like accuracy. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, okay, Alexa Grasso stand up. Like Alexa Grasso boxing stand up better than Roxanne all day long. Better than Roxanne. Jennifer Maya stand up is better. It's better. I'm not even gonna lie. Like Roxanne stand up versus Miranda's close. I think Miranda's variety is nicer because she throws body and head. So I give Miranda just the edge over Roxanne with that. And I'm just being real with it. Like I'm kind of going by who's got more wins off and who's got more wins and who's got more takedowns off of their punches and off of their strikes. And who can win rounds off of it. Like Montana can hit, like I said, but he's still not winning rounds. It's not earning you rounds. Right, yeah. It wouldn't matter who has the best stand, but who wins the fight. Right. Yeah. Because that's what it comes down to. Yeah, like let's say Montana did let's say she did have the better stand up, but who would be the better well-rounded fighter? You know, like who's gonna be the better fighter in the end, you know? Yeah, 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 I agree with that. But yeah, I'm gonna be on tomorrow night. I'll be on tomorrow night at 7, and we're gonna talk flyweights tomorrow anyway, man. I want to talk up this Taylor Santos and Roxanne fight, Marcus. It needs to happen. It needs to happen, man. Taylor and Roxanne need to happen. I mean, Lipsky and Mandy are fighting, so yeah, that makes sense. Roxy needs a dance partner. Taylor needs a dance partner. So let's get it, man. Let's go get this fight locked in. And we got to talk about JoJo and Grasso. Now that's a good stand-up fight right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. But yeah, let me get up out of here. Oh, some of the dudes be falling for the banana in the peel fight with my man. Nah, man, I be looking at Montana like I be like, is she, like she got potential. I would she put her in there with some unranked fighters to kind of work on her stand up and everything. But yeah. But just going back and look at that Andrea Lee fight when she took it there, man. It wasn't there. But yeah, man, let's see. Yeah, Errol Spence and Manny, I'll talk more about this later to some boxing fans. Y'all need to start coming through here more because, you know, I'm gonna talk this real with y'all. And yeah, I don't want to see no I do not want to see Tank Davis and Keith Thurman fight, man. Don't make no sense. Makes more sense for Tank, but it don't make any sense for Thurman when he's got all these guys out there like Ugas and even if he wanted to fight Sean Porter in a rematch, Jerron Boots Ennis, all of these names, too many welterweights for him out there to try to fight Tank. And too many lightweights for Tank. Like I said, free agent Devin Haney, you know what I mean? So it it's no need for that. It's really no need for that. That's why boxing needs that UFC. It needs that UFC model right now, man, where the best in each division fight the best somehow. I mean, too many belts though, right? It's too many daggone belts. Ugh. Mark said, as of now, Montana only beats Kasim, Lipsky, Ostovich, Molly McCann, and who could ever forget Melanie Giggles? Damn, who is that? Now you got me. Wait a minute, who is it? I know who that is. You throwing a name at me now, man. I know who that is. I just can't think of it right now, man. I'm tired. Been off all night, man. Melanie Giggles. Hold on. I'm gonna think of that. Hold on. Melanie Giggles. All right. Why am I'm drawing a blank. I know that name. I mean, I know you kind of throwing you making it funny, but Melanie Giggles. Well, I can't think of that name right now. It's a name that sounds like somebody, but I'm blanking out on it, man. Yeah. I know that's what you call it. Yeah. Melanie Geigels or something like that. Yeah, I knew you were just playing around. That's why I was like, I remembered it too. Like last time when you said it, I knew who you were talking about. But like I said, I'm zoning out right now. For real. Oh man. Man, real quick though, what else in boxing was I gonna talk about real quick? Tank, not Tank, Canelo. Yeah, just real quick, Canelo. Man, Canelo wants to fight Caleb Plant. Why don't he just go ahead and do it? Like, I didn't know $40 million was short change, man. Like some of these guys today, man, I'm like, wow, when the money comes the way it comes with boxing, these guys get spoiled. You know, $40 million plus, like, he's getting the contract with, was it Hennessy? Something like that. He's getting some alcohol contract or whatever, some type of liquor contract. And, pay-per-view numbers. He's getting everything. He's getting everything while Caleb Plant just wants 10 million for 10 million for his worth. He has the last belt, so Caleb Plant said, I'm worth 10 million. Give me 10 million. Okay, that's fine. And you going in there with somebody that's considered the best fighter in the world. But for Canelo not to just go ahead and sign on and take 40 million, I'm like, okay, what else do you want besides 40 million? Like, where else? Like, who are you paying? Like, who do you owe most of this money to that you need more than 40 million? It's crazy because in the boxing world, 40 million is not enough. And then you got fighters in like MMA, like Cheyenne Bay saying they're broke as hell. You know what I mean? Like, who make just this amount of money just to go broke. Like, there's got to be some middle ground there, man. That's why it's kind of frustrating. You see these fighters in MMA, they go through hell with all these disciplines and get head kicks and getting choked out, choked till they pass out, and this is how they get treated. Whereas somebody Canelo, I'm thinking $40 million, that's good enough for me. Even if I was in his position, I'd be like, shoot, that's fine. 30-20 is good for me. Yeah, yeah. If MMA or yeah, UFC had that type of format, it would be dangerous, man. It would be dangerous. You know that free agent style, like I like it, but then again, I don't like it because people get greedy just for that factor. Like I like for these young guys to get their money now and not die broke and not retire broke like a lot of the older fighters did, like the Joe Lewises and so on. Larry Holmes not getting the money he deserves for being as great as he was. Um, Mike Tyson, somebody that was worth 400 million but didn't have that at the end of his career. I wish, I used to wish that guys were getting money like that, but it's the way they go about being comfortable whenever they get it at such an early age. That's what sucks about it, right? Like, dang, like Canelo, man, like 30 years old, like made a lot of money. Like, just do it for legacy now, man. $40 million, come on. You wanted this fourth belt, Caleb Plant has it, and Canelo, you know, uh, Caleb Plant, if he can take on Canelo, he's not going to make it a low ball price. He's going to be like, I'm worth 10 million if you want this last belt, come and get it. So hopefully they settle something, man. If Canelo wants to ride this train of being the best fighter in the world and say he's number one, he got to start putting them names on his doggone resume, man. You know, you want to be the first undisputed super middleweight champion, shoot, and you're getting 40 million, or you complaining about 40 million. I'm like, come on, man, come on, wow, man. That's why I'm just like, the boxing world, Marcus, it's a little crazy because there still has to be good fights. There still has to be good fights in this thing, man. Like, I want everybody to get their money, but I don't want y'all fighting like easy fights either. Like, come on. That's the whole purpose of getting paid a lot. So you can cover the damage you take from taking one of the toughest, baddest guys out there. Shoot, y'all making like, shoot, somebody like Michael Spence deserved that for taking just that one round with Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? But they weren't seeing that type of deal. So Evander Holyfield, like the 3 wars he fought with both, shoot, he deserved that. He deserved that type of money. Evander going at it 3 times with both. Shoot, he deserved that type of money. Marcus said, and the funny part, the fans will still put their money up for fights they don't want to see. Right. Like, I haven't, man. I haven't been like getting some of these fights. I haven't been getting some of these fights because they haven't been coming through. Like, I ain't buying no Teofimo versus Kambosos fight. I'm not buying Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos. Like, he's trying to milk this thing for what it's not worth. Kambosos is a mandatory. You know, Kambosos is a mandatory. Teofimo Lopez needs to just do that on TV. That's a televised fight. Boom. That'd be it. Get paid for it. Move on to a better fight. Devin Haney, that would be a good pay-per-view fight. Then when you take another mandatory televised fight, Tank Davis, that's a pay-per-view fight. So they try to milk this thing, man. They're trying to milk this thing, but a lot of fans ain't gonna have it though. Matter of fact, that's why the Teofimo Lopez fight, I think that's why it really was went under the radar and then it didn't get made. It didn't get made because nobody was buying that. They were trying to do it with Triller, but nobody was really having that. Whatever happened to that Teron Woodley fight and that Logan Paul fight? When is that? I don't even know about that, man. I don't know. Like the only fight, well, I am gonna get the Spence Pacquiao fight. I get that. I'm gonna get that, and I'm definitely checking this Fury Wilder 3 fight. Wilder Fury 3 is a fight I want to see. Those are fights that are worth it. But as of lately, even like some of the fights, Charlo brothers have been putting on haven't been, pay-per-view worthy. And that's just me. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what's going on though, man. We'll see how some of this plays out in boxing. But yeah, going back to what I was saying with Spence and Pacquiao, I want to leave out on that note. I hope that Manny knows what he's doing as far as how he's training, man, because this pandemic, Marcus, it ain't going anywhere right now. And I don't want to hear they see, man, they see like Amanda Nunes just had to pull out of her fight. It's not going anywhere. And I know somebody else that's kind of I know somebody else that's, in the ER in their bed right now. I won't put their business out there, but they put it out there, but I ain't gonna mention their name here. But I've been seeing them, laid up from this pandemic again. The 19, they're laid up now, so it's not going anywhere. So I see Manny training with all these people, man. I don't want to hear nothing come up because they know what type of precautions they got to take. Oh boy, yeah, I saw that, Marcus Riddick Bowe and Lamar Odom. I saw that, man. I was like, oh no, oh man, please no, man. Yeah, stuff like that I ain't gonna pay for, man. That MTV Celebrity Death Match, I ain't paying for that. Yeah, yeah. So I know y'all said I think that was you, Marcus, said Amanda, her well, it's gone now, right? Yeah, yeah. She doesn't have the 19 anymore, right? Yeah. So they should probably reschedule her fight for next month or something. Yeah, Arrow's been looking like they're just doing what they do, as far as I know Manny is like an icon and they want to surround him with people, but now's really not the time because this is a serious fight. There's a lot of money on this fight, and there's 2 belts on this fight, and we still have this new Delta. I don't want to mention the name. There's this new variant out there that is still out. It's hitting people. It's hitting vaccinated people. Like Manny could be vaccinated, but still, man, it's like, yo, gotta be careful. Like Arrow, his side look like they're just doing the same thing. They have some media out there, but it's not like they're out and about as much. Okay, yeah, yeah. She doesn't, and Nina doesn't have it anymore. Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. That's good because they can put this thing on and put this thing on for September. Only fight I really want that I'm really, really wanting is right. Taylor Santos and Roxanne Modafferi right now. I go ahead and put that fight together, Mick Maynard. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put that post up, man. I'm gonna tag that post and we're gonna put Mick Maynard versus put Mick Maynard, Roxanne versus Taylor Santos. Can we get that fight? But yeah, man, let me get up out of here. I'm about to get out and chill for a bit before I do this grind thing again, and I'll probably get on in the morning and talk a little bit. But yeah, Wednesday we definitely gonna talk some more flyweights at 7 p.m. Marcus, you know you'll be there for sure. So yeah, guys, make sure y'all subscribe and yeah, flyweight talk. Probably do some open links because I want to just kind of discuss this whole division. It's getting better. It's definitely getting better. But yeah, boxing world, we need to do better, man. Boxing world, we got to do better. We need better fights. Yeah, Roxanne Montana, you don't think they're entertaining? I would watch it, but it's not the one I want, man, because that's a big leap for Montana. You know, Montana getting the number 8 when Taylor's higher than her. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here. Shout out Marcus Bell. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow night, guys. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Be safe. Peace.